So Randolyn, is it okay to record this conversation?
Oh, sure.
Awesome, awesome. Did you get a notification from your side saying the conversation is being recorded?
Yes. Yes,
Outstanding.
I gave you permission.
Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you. Because I think in the state of California, you cannot record without people's permission. So it's good to have that permission. Yes, ma'am. So please go ahead. How long you been with Heartland?
I've been with Heartland for a little bit over a year. So I've been with Heartland for a little bit over a year, and I came from, basically I made a career change when COVID hit,
Okay.
as many did. So I came from the education industry. I was an admissions counselor for about 6 years.
Awesome, awesome.
Yeah, and
Big
then
change.
very, very big change. I unfortunately, I ended up getting COVID last year.
Oh, I'm
And
sorry to hear that.
so,
Yeah.
yes, oh, thank you. And so, so that prompted me to resign from my position and find something that didn't jeopardize my health so much.
Correct.
So, Heartland's been a really great place for me. They care about their people, which I'm very thankful for. And they even, accommodate me, working from my home office. I'm a long hauler. So I still have issues from having COVID a year ago. So they work
Sorry
with
to hear
me.
that. Yes.
No, that's okay. There are much more people out there that have had it worse than I, so I'm thankful to be here.
Correct. Yeah, it's always good to be fortunate, but this whole COVID thing, I don't think anybody saw this coming. Like I've never seen an illness like. I had a meeting with somebody yesterday. He's a little bit older than you, but with him, he lost his sense of smell and sense of taste, and like he can eat, but he cannot taste anything. So. It's just a nasty virus. I don't know how to describe it, but it's just really unfortunate. Yes, ma'am. So please talk to us about our business. So what do you like? What do you focus? Like, who would be a great referral for you?
So Heartland, we really work with all types of different business owners. We work with brick and mortar establishments and also mobile businesses and online businesses as well.
Okay.
So we, in terms of the size of business, we work with small business owners all the way up to, multi-million-dollar annual businesses. So we, our services that we offer, they're all personalized towards what the needs are of the business owner. So they're not cookie cutter plans, as we would say, because every business owner is going to have different needs. And then also, especially if they're operating their business differently than the next person, you can't give them the same solutions,
Correct.
So in terms of the industries that we work with, pretty much everything except the cannabis industry we work with. Cannabis is off limits right now. But other than that, we work with all different types of businesses. Heartland Payment Systems, we offer card processing solutions, whether they're on-site, mobile, or we also do e-commerce solutions as well. A lot of business owners are looking into contactless payments and ways to collect payments without actually, having interaction with the customer. So we've really seen a huge increase in that. But then also, we offer point of sale. We have point of sale systems. We can do system integrations if, the business owner already has equipment that they're coming on board with and things like that. With payroll, we do direct deposit. We do tax filing. They do reports, CPA access and general ledger. And then also like HR tracking and time. And then they also help build like employee handbooks and can assist business owners with the onboarding process, making sure they stay compliant with labor laws and things like that.
Beautiful.
And then we also offer like benefits, like things like PTO and 401k, workers' comp and insurance, like things that business owners need to make sure that they have to protect themselves and their business.
Sure.
So we try to provide just kind of a host of different services all under one umbrella.
Beautiful.
And with our merchants that we work with, if they have one of our services, whether it be payroll or processing, but one or the other, we offer discounting and things like that, for them having all their solutions under one roof.
Sure, sure. So you basically bundle them together. So that way the price comes down for the other products as well. That's outstanding. So when you say insurance, are you an insurance? Are you a licensed agent?
No, so we determine what the needs are. So with our payroll department, like I have a payroll partner that I work with, and
Sure.
he actually has people that he works with in terms of, people that are associated with the Affordable Care Act and work comp and things like that. So our payroll people, they do all the paperwork and all the communication with those other entities to make sure that the businesses are set up the way that they need to be. So, and then also too, one of the things that we do, like for payroll, have you ever heard of the WOTC credits, the work opportunity tax credits? Have you ever heard of
I've
those?
kind of heard about it. Yeah, in the state of California, like well, that's it's in one of the stimulus bills, I believe. So if they hired some employees, then they get some tax credits, something like that, right?
Yes, and the work opportunity tax credits are huge. And there's several different, I guess, different criteria that somebody can meet. There's like, I think there's like, I want to say there's 8 or 9 different, things that can deem a person eligible for the WOTC credits. So a business owner can earn up to $9,600 in tax credits per employee.
Beautiful.
And then also the employee retention credits, or the ERC credits, is something that they also included in that bill that you're referencing. Beautiful. to award employers tax cuts and credits for keeping their employees on payroll during the pandemic. Beautiful. So, and then they're also, and we can also backdate as well, which is really cool. So if they were keeping employees on payroll previous to working with us, and we uncover that they actually had employees that they've kept on payroll, we can actually make an amendment and we can backdate the ERC.
All the paperwork. Beautiful, beautiful. Do me a favor. Do you have any kind of brochures, like a digital brochure, at least talking about the program? It doesn't need to have all the details, but if you can at least, for example, if you can just have a brochure which explains that, employers can possibly claim this particular tax credit, but you can help them with the process. If you can send me like a 1 or 2 page brochure, on that particular subject, that would be awesome. But I also had one more question. What about things like executive bonus plans? What about things like buy-sell plans? If you're a partnership, do you get it? Because those are also products that business owners use, but is that something that you guys do?
What kind of products again, Raj?
Buy-sell agreement.
Buy and sell agreement?
Yes, and also like executive bonus plans. Do you guys do any kind of executive bonus plans?
Well, I'm wondering if maybe the terminology you're using is maybe a little bit different. Now, are you talking about like for referrals and things like that? Or are you talking about like an actual service that we provide, like us asking if we provide a certain service?
Actually, the question I asked was, is that a service that you provide? Because you also mentioned that you do insurance and a bunch of other things that are services that a business owner needs. So like, is this a product that you guys offered under the Heartland umbrella?
Oh, no, as far as the insurance is all through the Affordable Care Act. So, Blue Cross Blue Shield, and the others. So traditional insurances that are in the marketplace.
Absolutely, absolutely. But to sell those particular products, you need a health license, because insurance is regulated.
Right.
So where I'm going with the story, so you are using referral partners. Is that what you're saying? So when you run into a situation where somebody needs a group health insurance, you just connect your referral partner and basically have them do the deal. Is that what you're talking about?
Yes, we have specialists, like, for example, we have work opportunity tax credit specialists, and we have different people that we work with on our payroll team. So we have people that are assigned for specific things that we're offering as a specialty offering, basically.
Beautiful, beautiful. So I would love to partner up with you, because I deal with a lot of business owners here in the Sacramento area. A lot of brick and mortar businesses. So
Mhm.
please send me some information, so I can share it with them. And if somebody's interested, I'll be happy to connect them with you.
Okay.
And maybe we can partner up and do some business together. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, that would be great. And also too, Raj, since you do know so many business owners, we do actually have an affiliate program for people that refer.
Sure.
So if it's something, that we move forward with after, let's say, for just as an example, let's say that you send, you refer a couple businesses over to me, and let's say that they are installed with services, whether it's payroll or payment processing, then after three referrals that you've sent over are installed with services,
Sure.
you're actually eligible to become a referral affiliate, which would mean that therefore anybody that you refer, you're actually compensated on. You would
Beautiful.
actually receive residual checks on the third week of each month. And then the first three clients that you referred that are installed, you would be paid on those retroactively the moment you become an affiliate. So it's and it can be really lucrative. I mean, if you know a lot of business owners, it's something, hey, money is money, right? Um,
Absolutely. Please send me that information. But on that subject, I have a question for you as well. What
Mhm.
about you? Would you like to be compensated? If you can send me some referrals who ends up signing up for the executive bonus plan or the split dollar plans. I don't want to go into each and every single one of them, other than the fact that these are all products that are targeted at small business owners. Since at the end of the day, you and me, we are both going after the exact same community, but with different products and services.
Mhm.
Would you be open to an affiliate opportunity as well? And the good news on this affiliate opportunity is you will get paid on the very first deal. You
Yeah,
don't have to wait for three deals to happen. I mean, I'm just letting you know, you could possibly get paid on the very first deal. Yes, ma'am.
mhm. Yes, and tell me a little bit more about your services, because I know you kind of shared some with me, but 5 minutes is not really enough, right?
You're right. You're right. I will send you a little bit of more information. I'll send you actual videos that go into depth of what these products are. But
Mhm.
just to let some of the things that we focus on is living benefits. Do you know what living benefits are?
Yeah, so basically, like, ones that, like, not life insurance, but benefits that you can like basically kind of you can extract from a plan that you're paying into while you're alive to put towards other things that you need to purchase, right?
You are almost right. You're like 70 to 80% right.
Okay.
But what it is living benefits is a rider attached to your life insurance policy. But traditional life insurance policies, they either have cash value or death benefit. But for this example, let's say they do not have cash value. So if they just had a death benefit, then you have to actually die before somebody else gets the money. It could be your husband, it could be your wife, it could be your children, it could be whoever is the beneficiary that you designate. But
Hmm.
with traditional life insurance policies, you actually have to die before somebody is going to see the money. But
Right.
living benefits, when they're a rider attached to the life insurance policy, they still have death benefit. But if you ever hit like stage 1 cancer, for example, when you're 70 years old, 80 years old, or if you have a stage 1 heart attack, or there are like 15 different health conditions, but even if it's a mild one, you may not die from it, but you still have medical expenses. You're going to have lost, like you cannot work for a couple of months, so you're going to have lost income. So you're going to have all those expenses. So the
Hmm.
good news on living benefits is they will pay you a certain percentage of the face amount when you're still alive. Yes, ma'am. So that's the advantage of the living benefits. I'm just going to shut my phone off. I'm sorry.
No, you're okay.
Yeah,
You're obviously a busy guy. That's no problem.
and thanks to the alignable group, I've just connected with a bunch of people, and I'm talking to even if we are halfway across the world, I'm still talking to all of you guys, and it's really amazing because
Mhm.
if it were not for alignable and if it were not for Al who put together that group, you and me, chances are that we would have never probably met because you're not in Sacramento, and I'm not. What city are you in again, Randolyn?
I'm in Oklahoma. Mhm.
Oklahoma.
You would never
I've
come
driven through
here.
Oklahoma once. Sorry, go ahead. What's that?
No, I was joking. I said you would never come here.
I actually drove through Tulsa, Oklahoma, like 20 years ago. Like I didn't actually
See?
stay there, but I actually drove through Tulsa, Oklahoma. So I
Mhm, mhm,
remembered because back in my IT days, I used to travel from one city to another, and a lot of times I used to just drive from one place to another. Yes, ma'am.
mhm.
So I do remember Tulsa, Oklahoma very well because I hit Tulsa, Oklahoma around 4 o'clock in the evening. Yes, ma'am. During peak
Mhm.
traffic. Yes.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely. And people out here don't know how to drive either. That's another thing. I'm from California too, as I had shared with you. So,
Where in
yes,
California are you from?
I was born in San Luis Obispo, if you know where that is.
Oh, that's near Southern California, right? That's near
It's
Los
it's
Angeles.
yeah, it's about an hour and a half north of Santa Barbara. It's like the halfway point between the Bay Area and Los Angeles. It's right there off the 101.
Beautiful,
But
beautiful.
um, but I have family in the Bay Area as well. So
Awesome.
I'm really familiar with Northern California, and I've just actually been out here for about 6 years or so. So I'm a transplant. I'm a California girl all the way, Raj.
Beautiful. Big difference, between Oklahoma and San Obispo. Yes, ma'am.
Mhm,
You have the beach here, in Santa
And the
Barbara.
great weather. And the
Yeah.
great weather. Yeah, the
Yes.
weather out here is awful. I mean, yeah.
Tornadoes, like, do you enjoy the tornadoes or, what
Heavens
else?
no.
Hurricanes. Do you get some hurricanes too?
No, in the area of Oklahoma that I'm in Oklahoma City, Edmond area, which is like right in the middle of the state. So in the area that I'm from, we don't really have we have more thunderstorms and hail than we do anything else. But I've only had to go to my grandma's to wait for the storm shelter one time since I've been out here, thankfully.
Beautiful, beautiful. Yeah, you're
So I
blessed.
haven't been
Yes,
in
ma'am.
any tornadoes yet, but other than that, the weather still stinks. It's still very, very hot.
Hmm.
And one day it'll be 20 degrees, the next day it'll be 70.
Okay. What
It's
about snow? Do you get snow there?
here and there during like the winter times for sure. We've had a couple freezes.
Sure.
And of course, the freeze that we had some months back,
Right.
that was awful. Yeah, that was really terrible. But yeah, we've had a couple ice storms and stuff out here.
Awesome.
Yeah, so we just as long as your home environment's great and you've got heating and air, you can weather any storm, you
Yes,
know?
yes, 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 yes. That's the good news. Yes, ma'am. There are
Mhm.
natural calamities everywhere, but it's a matter of where you are and what kind of support system you got. Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
So,
definitely.
so that's one thing, living benefits is one thing that we focus on. The other thing we got going on, which makes us unique, is the interest that we have paid on our products, the index IUL and the annuities is
Mhm.
that it's an uncapped index, so that means there's a chance to make significant amount of interest, whereas most other companies would cap that interest rate at like 11%, 12%. You still are downside protection, meaning let's say you got 100,000 sitting inside your annuity, so long as you hold it for the entire term, like depending, let's say you got a 10-year annuity. I'm just taking a simple example. So long as you don't take more than 10, you're allowed to take up to 10% out each year, but let's forget about that. Let's say you actually held your entire 100,000 from beginning to the end of the 10-year period. You're guaranteed to walk away with at least 100,000. So your original investment, original deposit is protected, and you also get interest each year, and you only get positive interest. So so long as the index performs, more than zero, that's when you get interest, and then it's locked at the end of each year. So let's say at the end of the first year, the index went up like 30%. I'm just taking a simple example.
Sure.
Then you're going to get 30% credited to your account. But the next year, let's say it went down 10%, which tends to happen with a lot of your 401ks and other products. Here, the good news is it's still locked in at 130,000. So it's not going to go down.
So it doesn't like roll over per se, like each year is separate and closed. Oh, that's awesome.
The beginning of each year and the end of each year is when the interest get credited. And the good news is only positive interest get credited. And when you do have negative periods, you still go sideways, so you don't lose money. But then the third year, let's say it went up 5%, so then you're going to get 5% of 130,000. So it's compound interest. So over a long period of time, you'll see that indexing is as a strategy, it's probably going to give you the best possible returns on the money that you got. And then, so and in some of the products, it's a combination of the living benefits with that indexing strategy. Yes, ma'am.
That's awesome. I mean, that's awesome.
And then the other good news is zero fees. Like so long as you don't buy any of the riders, if you're just buying that annuity, you're going to have zero fees, as opposed to a lot of 401k programs where they're going to charge you, like I think legally they can charge you up to 10 different fees or whatever it is. So this is very cost efficient. Yes, ma'am.
Well, that's really wonderful too. And what you're talking about, what's the unfortunate thing is there's a lot of people that don't know that this kind of stuff is out there. And then the other half of the people don't have the opportunity to invest so that they can have those things in the future.
Correct.
You know what I mean? So
that's where the opportunity is. Yes, ma'am. And the good news is whatever we are doing is, like even though there are lots of insurance companies, we are unique. Like you need to be appointed with Freedom Equity Group to be selling this particular product. Like you cannot do this through any other provider. So that's what gives us a competitive advantage. So I will send you some information about all this stuff, after we are done with this call. So please go through those videos.
Yeah.
And you are welcome to participate in the affiliate program as well. And that's an opportunity for you to make hopefully a lot of money. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. No, that would be wonderful. And that's definitely, if you have some, some information like outside of the videos, if you have any PDF documents that you can send me.
We do have some marketing brochures as well. I'll be happy to send you some marketing brochures. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, sure. Yeah, and then that way I can save it. I can save it on my desktop, and that way, because I interact with business owners all the time, and the ones that I've built relationships with that, trust me, I can, have conversations with them, just to kind of, ask questions here and there as far as what that looks like for them.
Absolutely, so, absolutely. That's wonderful. And also, if you have some money in your previous job, the 401ks that you're trying to roll over into an IRA and whatever, please let me know. You don't need to share that in this particular conversation, but please text me the information so I can run the numbers for you, so you can take a look at the numbers and see if it makes sense for you or not. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, I'm going to have to check. I'm going to have to check into that because the previous, the school that I was at, they, I think that they are, I'll have to check on that because I know that they
don't share any information here in this video because it's being recorded. But outside this conversation, all that I'm saying is if you got some paperwork, just send it to me and we'll take a look and we'll generate an illustration for you so you can take a look and see if it makes sense to you or not. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, like I said, I'll have to check on that because I know that the school that I left, they're doing a teach out right now because all their schools are shutting down.
They do a what?
All the schools are shutting down that I was at because of COVID.
Yes.
So they're doing what they call a teach out because the campuses are all closing. So I'll have to check on that.
Maybe there's nobody to answer the call or whatever, but if you had some 401k or something, that would be through a different company. For example, the last job that I had, even though I worked for a company, the actual 401k provider was Vanguard, I believe. So there might be an 800 number or something on your statement. So just take a look. Yes, ma'am. And we can have that conversation outside this call. Yes, ma'am. Because I don't want to go
Okay.
too much into your personal details in this call. Yes, ma'am.
Sure. Okay. That would be wonderful. Yeah, I'll check on that for sure. And then from here, so what I'll do then is I'll put together an email
Yes.
with some documents, and I can also, if you'd like, I can include a couple YouTube links for you to videos to watch, just so
Sure.
you kind of have a just kind of a summary of everything that we do. And then if you have anybody that you think would benefit from having a conversation about our services, you can just, let me know directly. You can, send it to me in a text message or whatever, and then we can,
Sure.
Just have a quick conversation about kind of the, what they're looking for, just to kind of learn a little bit about the business. And then, and then I can see how I can help them. For you, since you communicate with business owners on a regular basis as well, one thing I wanted to say is that in the event that you come across business owners that already have these services that we're talking about in place already, let them know that we can do pricing analysis to see how much money we can save them by coming to Heartland. And then there's also, for like payment processing, we have like a breach protection program that covers up to $100,000 in losses for their business if they ever endure like a breach or anything like that. So there's a lot of, so just let the business owners know, if they have existing services, we can do a pricing comparison so that they can see for themselves what the value is and if it benefits them,
Right. Yes, I'm happy to do that. So please text me the question that you'd like me to ask the business owner. Like what is it called? Like a conversation starter. Anything that will get them qualified. So basically, because I don't want to just send you like 100 different names, and then you call these people and they just hang up on the phone. That's a waste of both our times. But if you send me some questions that you'd like me to ask a business owner, and based on how they respond, if they say yes to that question, then I can say, hey, a lady called Randolyn would be calling you to talk a little bit more, because again, I don't want to go too deep into all these products, because you'll be the one who's closing them. Sure. I can just help you make that connection, and then you guys talk, and if it makes sense, they end up doing the deal with you. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
And I'll do the same thing for you on the executive bonus side. So I will send you questions that you can ask your clients, the people that you have already closed the deals, and depending on how they answered, just refer me to them, let me talk to them. And if the deal closes, and then you end up signing up for the affiliate link, you'll actually get paid from the insurance company. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. That sounds great. I'm excited.
Yes,
I'm
yes.
excited.
That's awesome. This is the best conversation I've had all day today. Yes, ma'am.
Oh, right on. Well, I like that, Raj. I like that.
Yes. Just before talking to you, I just talked to Al as well. So the Al is the guy who created that group. So how did you end up on that alignable group?
How did I?
Yeah.
Well, because I actually stumbled upon it.
Right.
I had, because I have to do a lot of my networking from home since I'm basically inside sales rep.
Yes.
And the way that I source referrals and things is much different since I'm kind of like living in my own little bubble due to COVID.
Correct.
So the way that I reach people is different. So I started using Alignable for these networking things like you attended.
Sure.
So this is like my fourth one. But that has really, really great connections. I think Alignable is almost better than LinkedIn.
100%. Even though I've been on LinkedIn for like 10 years, I've not met a whole lot of people. A lot of times I will message somebody, but they'll not even respond back, but Alignable, the good news on Alignable is I don't connect with like 100 people because I'm still on the free version. I don't even pay for I don't even get on the premium side. So
Sure.
I get like maybe 10 connections a month, but those are
Mhm.
really good 10 connections because the people I do connect with, when I message them saying, hey, would you like to meet for coffee? 9 out of 10 times they'll say sure, when is a good time, so there's because they are interested in meeting people too, it's not just one-sided. So I've
Mhm.
had a lot of meetings through Alignable, and now it looks like they're taking it to the next level, because previously it was all local people, people from Folsom, Sacramento, that kind of stuff. And
Mhm.
now with these group pages, what's happening is you can just get on this like this was the first networking event that I've attended. But the good news is there is like 160 people who attended, and Al was kind enough to email me the full chat list. So I just started
Yes, I saw
texting
that.
people. And
Mhm.
even there, you and me, we were lucky to get on the breakout rooms. But there were a lot more people that you met through the breakout rooms, because of the time consideration, because it's just a 1 hour meeting. But
Mhm.
I've been texting other people through that big email that Al sent, and I'm getting fairly good response. Like a lot of people want to meet, and because nobody's local, we are all doing Zoom calls, and hopefully taking it to the next level in the sense that doing deals on an ongoing basis. That's the intention behind these meetings.
Mhm. Oh yeah, definitely. No,
But I wanted to ask you one quick question. You
sure.
also said you are not on Facebook. What's the reason for that? You mentioned LinkedIn, but you've been staying away from Facebook. You know what? Like again, you don't need to get into all these details because if you have some personal issues, but can you just
No,
give me a good reason as
why?
to, yeah, because at the end of the day, you are networking, right? You are interested in meeting business people. So
Mhm.
why would you not get on Facebook?
Yeah, so I actually had a Facebook account for many years,
Okay,
and I disconnected it about 10 years ago, because I just it was kind of a personal thing for me because I felt like, people, from now that in a professional sense, now of course it makes sense. But at the time, I wasn't in this particular on this career path. And
sure.
so for me, I felt like,
It didn't make sense.
Facebook is kind of a way where people can see how you're doing, but they don't
Yes,
ask you, you know what I
yes,
mean?
yes, yes, yes.
And so, and I'm kind of a private person, and I'm kind of old school, Raj.
Sure,
I'm
sure, sure.
kind of old school.
Yes, yes, yes.
So I believe in picking up the phone to call somebody, you know what I mean? So that was the
You're a
reason
people
why I did it.
person. Yes, ma'am. No, no, no. Whatever you're saying makes sense. And in your previous job, when you work in the school system, there was no reason for you to get on Facebook. But now with Heartland, if your intention is to connect with business owners,
Mhm.
Facebook has changed a lot. And let me explain what that means. Now you have business pages, so a lot of times when you know a restaurant's name, but you really don't know the owner's name, you can message the business page and say, hey, I'm just coming there for lunch today. What's your name? Like you can make that connection. I'm not saying they're going to do a deal with you, but at
Sure.
least, you're kind of making that connection. So once you actually go into the restaurant, they're actually waiting for you. Who's that guy who just messaged me on the business page? So that gives you a little bit of advantage. And in my line of business, I find that to be crucial because you could be spending like 10 years ago, when you had all these chamber of commerce meetings and that kind of stuff, you had to meet somebody like 10 times for coffee and say how you're doing, how was your weekend, basically dance around like that before you can even start talking about business.
Mhm.
But
Mhm.
now, if you actually message them on Facebook and they look at your page, because at the end of the day, it's all about branding.
Yeah.
So you're not
Mhm.
just randomly reaching out to people. Like a lot of times when I connect with people, when they go on my group page and they see 30,000 people there, they say, wow. So that builds up that reputation. So we go from, like, how are you to, hey, how much, like, what kind of deal you'd like to do, really fast. We are able to make that switch
Mhm.
really fast. So, again, but that being said, there's a lot of drama on Facebook if you connect with the wrong people. There's people
Yes.
talking about political stuff and religious stuff and that kind of stuff. But what I've done is I've basically gotten rid of all that garbage, So I
Mhm.
may be connecting with you, but if I see too much drama from you, like starting tomorrow, again, it's not just one thing that you post, I'll give you some time, but if that's what you're doing on an ongoing basis, I'll just disconnect you, So
Yeah.
just because you're connected with somebody doesn't mean you're married to them. You can always divorce very easily without doing community property sharing.
Yes.
I'm just kidding. Okay.
Mhm.
But where I'm going with the story is there is a little bit of drama, but you can avoid it because all that you have to do is, get rid of those people and just connect with good quality people. And
Yeah.
then you can have a professional profile and just connect with other like-minded professionals who are going in the same direction in life as you and hopefully do some deals. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, it's definitely something to consider because I kind of go back and forth between Alignable and LinkedIn. So like whatever connections I have on Alignable, once we have meetings like this, then,
Sure.
then we connect on LinkedIn and things like that. But the moment I see posts about things like political stuff and all of that, like, praising Trump and all this other stuff, okay, unfollow poster.
Correct, correct. Yeah,
And
yeah,
just
yeah.
kind of so I don't have to see that negativity in my feed because I cannot deal with negativity. I mean, we have so much of it. We have so much of it. This world is a mess. I mean, let's just be honest, right? It
You're
really
right.
is. The
You're
world
right.
is a mess. So we need to whenever we can control our environment, whenever we can create positivity, we need to do that, kind of balance out all that negative crap we see.
100%. But a lot of times what you'll notice is if your profile is set up a certain way, right now, Facebook will give you friend suggestions, and what I'm finding is these are people that I might have never known before, but when you connect with these people, 9 out of 10 times, they do not have a lot of drama if your page doesn't have any drama.
Right.
So
Mhm.
they're looking at, because when you create a profile, they're taking a look at, sorry, what kind of person you are, like what your interests are. If they think that if you start posting too much political stuff, then that algorithm is going to think that, okay, this lady is very interested in politics. So they're going to connect you with other people who are passionate about politics too. They may not exactly be aligned with your interests, but at the end of the day, they're into politics as well. But when you
Similar.
start
Mhm.
posting too much business stuff, like in my case, like if you look at my Facebook profile, what you're going to see is a lot of motivational stuff. Like I post a lot of Anthony Robbins and those kind of people, with uplifting messages. And
Mhm.
a lot of times I'll go into restaurants, order food, take pictures of the food, post it. So lot of stuff that I post is, it's all directed towards driving traffic to local small businesses. So when you start doing that, guess what? The algorithm, the, like where they put in the bucket, so they're going to think, okay,
Mhm.
here's a guy who's very interested in business. So they're going to start connecting you with other professionals who are equally interested in business too. So again, it's something for you to think about. But I
Yes.
think if you're the big difference between LinkedIn and Facebook, the way I see it is in on LinkedIn, I don't have a whole lot of conversation with people. Even though I have 10,000 connections, I probably met one or two of those people. Whereas on Facebook, even though I got maybe 30,000 connections on the group page, but 5,000 connections on the personal page, I
Wow.
physically talked with almost 100 or 200 people out of those, at least, maybe more. But the good news on Facebook is a lot of times people will recognize me at Starbucks. And like once I was at a grocery shop that I don't even normally go to, because somebody else took me there. But one of my Facebook connections was there and she recognized me, so it basically creates that name recognition. And a lot of times I go into these wedding parties and other kind of social events where I may not know somebody, but they will know who I am, so that creates that advantage of taking it to the next level and actually doing a business deal with them. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, that's awesome. Perfect. Well, hold on just 1 second. I
Sure.
keep having this call that calls me back to back. 1 second. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Hello? Hello?
Maybe they got tired of waiting.
Hello?
You just lost $1 million check, Randolyn. It's gone.
Story of my life, Raj. Story of my life.
Don't worry, we'll make it all back. Yes, yes, yes. Sorry.
Yes, but yeah, sorry about that. I had seen that number come through a couple of times and I didn't recognize it, so I was
That's
just
okay.
double checking.
I let it go to voicemail. I just let it go to voicemail because I never take a call from a random stranger unless if it's from you. Yeah, but I've saved your number. So I know Randolyn is calling. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, I have your number saved too, Raj.
Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you.
Yes.
So did you have any more questions, Randolyn?
No, I think that we've covered a lot of really great things. I'm certainly very excited.
Likewise.
And so I will, if you'd like to, I have I kind of have like it's something I put together. I call it like an about me in Heartland. And it's basically it's an email. It's something I send to people that I'm working with just to kind of let them know like what the expectations are that one has, like when they talk with me, like the things that we'll go over, and just kind of some different talking points. But I'll also include in that email some questions that you can ask. But then the other part of the about me is just to kind of help you get a better idea of like what one can expect when working with me.
Sure.
So then that way, for you, because you're referring those people, that way you understand, what that experience is like too. And I put my name on it. So I guarantee that that's going to be their experience,
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Definitely send me all that information. But before we leave, I'll strongly suggest that, try to get on Facebook because that way, see, this conversation is great, but we are not going to be talking hopefully every single day. We could be texting each other or whatever, but when you're on Facebook, you're going to see each other's posts on the news feed, so that refreshes your memory. So I find I avoid the drama 100%, but for the positive side, I really, really love Facebook because for two reasons. One is the connections. The second thing is you might have some hobby. For example, I am really passionate about natural healing. Like herbal stuff. Because Facebook knows that I'm into that kind of stuff, I could spend 5,000, 10,000 bucks trying to go to college and, learning about it in a school or something like that. But I get a lot of that information for free because, for example, did you know turmeric, consuming turmeric can actually decoagulate your arteries, consuming raw beets can actually, because they have nitrates, it actually expands your arteries. So there's more blood going into your brain, so information like this, it's not just business, like educational stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You get a lot of this information for free, so which I find priceless. And in return, if they're going to try to sell me something, that's fine. Maybe I need those services, so I'm willing to compromise on my privacy a little bit, but the benefits, I believe, far outweighs the negative stuff that people talk about. And then the other thing I would say is, please stay in touch so that, and next time you come to California, please let me know so we can actually meet and talk face to face. This has been an very enjoyable conversation. Yes, ma'am.
Definitely. No, I appreciate that. And I appreciate the fact that, you shared those things with me, and, I can tell you're really passionate about what you do, which I love talking to passionate people. I'm a passionate person too. And awesome. I love helping people.
I'm borderline crazy though. Yeah, I'm kidding.
Hey, but when you're rich, they call it eccentric.
Yes. Do you watch Jim Carrey?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, he's one of my favorite actors, but sometimes in some of his roles, like he sounds like he needs medical attention.
Yes, there are a few. Yes, yes, yes. My son loves Ace Ventura. That's like one of his favorites. Yeah.
Yes, yes, yes.
Mhm.
You should ask your son to watch Liar, Liar too. I
Oh,
like that.
yes,
The
that's a
initial,
good
the
one.
very first scene, it's just brilliant. Like, do you remember the first scene in Liar, Liar?
No, I don't, but there's a couple scenes in it though that are really funny. I can't remember the first one, but yeah, they definitely it is a really funny movie. It is a really funny movie.
Yes, when that case starts, I'm going to tell you what that first scene is, but there's another scene that's really funny because his son puts a hex on him. He can only talk the truth. He's a
Yes.
liar. He's
Mhm.
representing a client that he knows is lying, but like on that particular day when he goes to court, like because his son put a hex on him, he can only talk the truth. So
Right.
when the proceedings will start, he'll get up and he'll say, "Your Honor, I'd like a continuance." And the judge will ask why. Like we've already had like 3 continuances. Why do you want a continuance today? He said, "Because I can't lie."
Yes.
But the initial scene is in the school. Like his son is in the like he's this really small boy. He's in like kindergarten or something like that. And the
Yeah.
teacher will ask, so can you guys tell me what your parents do for what does your father do for a living? So the first girl will say, "My father is a truck driver." And the second girl will say, "My father is a doctor." And then she'll ask Jim Carrey's son, and he'll say, "My mother is a teacher." So she'll ask, "That's fine, but what about your dad?" He said, "My dad is a liar." I said,
Ouch.
"What
Huh?
do you mean? What do you mean? What does he do?" He goes to the court and he talks to the judge. "Oh, you mean a lawyer?" The same thing.
Yes.
Those kids
Kids,
are so
right?
innocent, it's so funny. Yeah, it's really funny. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
definitely. Well, yeah, I will definitely, I'll put some things together
Please
today and
do.
get those to you. And then, and you have an AOL account. I have an AOL account too. I thought I was the only one that still had
No,
an
no, no.
AOL account.
We are not that
So me
old.
and
Yes, ma'am.
Raj.
Because I like my AOL account because that's where I get all my spam. I get like a million spam. That's fine. I can still go through it and find one useful mail every day. But when somebody is asking me for the email, I know they're going to send me a bunch of stuff and add me to some newsletters, that kind of stuff. So my go-to email is AOL. Spam me as much as you want. I'm already getting a bunch of spam. I might as well get some more. Yes, ma'am.
Mhm, mhm. Yes, yeah, yes, and AOL is notorious for that. I get a lot of spam too. I just don't open everything. But I've
Exactly.
had the same AOL account, I think, for probably 20 years. I mean,
Right, right. But if it's some important email, I can get it on my Gmail. But if it's
mhm.
newsletters or that kind of stuff that I know I'm not going to open, please send it to my AOL account. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So is that the email that you'd like me to use to send that stuff?
Absolutely. But if it's something important, just text me too, saying, "Hey, I just sent you something, that you need to sign," or like when there's something important, definitely text me. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, cool. So what I'll do then, I'll include a document. I'll include some PDF attachments that talk about the work opportunity tax credit.
That's the
Um,
one I'm really interested in because I think we can open up a lot of doors with that particular brochure. That's something that I'm really interested in. Yes, ma'am.
And also too, I will say that like with the payroll stuff, Raj, that if you know businesses that have like, let's say for example, the more employees they have is really, I mean, that's the bigger residual check you get.
Definitely, definitely. I will be on the constant lookout. Like I meet a lot of business owners, but if you send me information, the thing that I need from you is what is the question I need to ask them. Again, I don't need to have a full training of what that service is.
Sure,
I just need to know what is the question that I need to ask to open up the door. And if they say
sure.
yes to that question, then I can say, "Hey, a lady called Randolyn will be calling you to discuss more on that subject." So please send me that information. That's something that I'm very interested in. And from your side, I'm going to send you some information that you can use to open up some doors on the executive bonus plan and a couple of other products as well. So please take a look at that. And if you have any questions, just contact me.
Perfect. Yeah, I will certainly do that. Yeah, I enjoy our meeting today, Raj. It was great. It was great talking with you. You're cool people.
Awesome, awesome. It's been very enjoyable talking to you as well. And I look forward to meeting you next time you're in California, Randolyn.
Yes, definitely. Well, you have a fantastic rest of your day, and I will talk to you soon.
Thank you. You too. Bye-bye.
All right, Raj, take care. Bye-bye.